All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into Chapter 9 of a really phenomenal tutorial, Machine Learning for IT Professionals, a 10-part foundation. This comes to us from Virtualization Options LLC, which is a highly respected Colorado-based research, education, and advisory organization. Now, assuming you've been following along through the first 8 chapters, you've already got that baseline context down. So today, we are diving right into the operational deep end. Our goal for this specific chapter is to completely demystify how machine learning fits directly into the real-world IT operations you tackle every single day. We're going to break down the buzzwords so you can walk away with confident, practical fluency.
Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap. We'll be looking at 1. The ML shift, 2. How ML works, 3. Core algorithms, 4. Data prep, 5. AI ops realities, and finally, 6. Next steps.
Section 1. The Machine Learning Shift. It's already here.
Listen, the machine learning revolution isn't some distant future trend that you can just put off learning about until next year. It is a very real, very present reality in your daily IT stack. Just think about this staggering statistic: 70%. Right now, 70% of enterprises use machine learning-powered tools directly within their IT stack. We're talking smart monitoring dashboards, dynamic resource allocation, automated ticketing systems, the whole shebang. Seriously, think about the last time you got woken up at 3 a.m. for a totally false positive critical alert. Frustrating, right? Well, ML is increasingly the engine deployed to triage those exact incidents, analyze the telemetry, and suppress all that noise without any human input. And what this means is a massive shift in your role as an IT pro. You're no longer just a consumer of these vendor tools. More and no more, you're expected to take operational ownership, to deploy, manage, and troubleshoot them. And for sure, that kind of operational ownership demands a rock-solid understanding of what's actually happening under the hood.
Section 2. How Machine Learning Works. Shifting Paradigms. Now, as an IT professional, your logic-based skills, your ability to script and structure commands, are absolutely vital. But to really grasp this chapter, we need to introduce a new paradigm that sits right alongside those skills. Think about traditional programming. You're completely used to writing explicit rules, right? Maybe you're writing a complex bash script, configuring a routing table, or setting a strict firewall policy. The computer follows those explicit rules perfectly. But here's the catch. Those explicit rules are incredibly brittle. The second an unexpected edge case pops up, something you didn't explicitly code for, the script breaks. It just scales terribly with complexity. Machine learning, on the other hand, entirely flips the script. Instead of you sitting down and writing out all the rules, you just provide the data. The computer learns the rules from that data and then dynamically applies those learned rules to new, unseen inputs. It adapts as new infrastructure data rolls in, and it scales naturally. The absolute crucial point here is that machine learning doesn't replace your IT logic. It just automates pattern recognition at a scale that explicit coding literally cannot match.
Section 3. Core Algorithms to Know, the IT Pro's Toolkit.
Now, I want to reassure you right out of the gate. You absolutely do not need to build these complex mathematical algorithms from scratch. But understanding exactly what they do and when to use them is the critical first step for any productive conversation you're going to have with your data science teams. First up in our toolkit is regression. In simple terms, a regression algorithm predicts continuous numeric values. To anchor this directly to a classic IT use case, think about forecasting server CPU load or memory utilization over the next 6 months. Or imagine using regression to predict the exact date a massive enterprise storage array is going to run out of capacity based on historical data growth rates. By leveraging regression, you're basically transforming your capacity planning from a reactive, stressful scramble into a highly proactive, data-driven strategy.
Next up, we have classification. Instead of a continuous number, this algorithm assigns inputs into discrete, predefined categories. You've probably interacted with this countless times today alone. A super basic example is your email filter, classifying messages as either spam or legitimate. But when we talk about daily network operations, classification is a real game changer. Imagine an intrusion detection system. Rather than just relying on static port blocking or explicit IP blacklists, which, let's face it, attackers bypass easily, a classification model analyzes hundreds of behavioral features dynamically. It's looking at packet sizes, payload structures, request frequencies, and in real time, it accurately classifies that traffic as either safe or malicious.
Finally, let's look at clustering. Unlike classification where you define the buckets ahead of time, clustering groups similar items without any predefined labels.
It actively goes in and finds hidden structure in completely unlabeled data. So imagine your network suddenly starts experiencing these seemingly random latency spikes across different geographic locations. You take that massive, chaotic mountain of telemetry data and feed it into a clustering algorithm. The algorithm groups the failing devices together based on mathematical similarities. And suddenly, by looking at that specific cluster, you realize every single failing router is running the exact same obscure, outdated firmware version. You never even told the model to look for firmware versions. It found that hidden underlying structure all on its own.
Section 4. The power of data prep, where IT expertise wins.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is that this is exactly where your existing hard-earned IT domain knowledge gives you a massive competitive advantage. You know the old software engineering saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out? Well, I promise you, it has never been more aggressively true than with machine learning. ML models are completely dependent on the quality of the raw data fed into them. And let's be totally honest with each other here. Raw IT data is almost never clean. It is a chaotic, messy mix of disparate syslog formats, frustrating time zone mismatches across global servers, and bizarre, undocumented output strings from legacy systems that haven't been updated in a decade. Before any algorithm can work its magic, pre-processing that data, handling the missing values, aligning timestamps, normalizing metrics is absolutely critical.
And that perfectly leads us to feature engineering, which is essentially the art of translating raw data into variables the model can actually understand. This is where you shine. Let's look at a real-world scenario. Say a basic machine learning model keeps waking up your on-call engineer at 2 a.m. on a Sunday because a database server suddenly hits 100% CPU utilization. The raw model sees a massive spike and immediately assumes it's a catastrophic anomaly. But as an IT pro, you know the context. That is just the scheduled weekly backup window. By stepping in and engineering a new feature, maybe you translate a raw timestamp into a simple yes/no flag called is_backup window. You provide the vital context that the model completely lacked. You teach it that this specific CPU spike at this specific time is totally normal operational behavior. It's your context that turns a failing model into a successful one.
Section 5. AIOS Realities, Solving Daily IT Problems. So this is where we connect all these machine learning concepts directly to reducing your daily alert fatigue and massively accelerating your root cause analysis. AIOps applies ML to the exact operational headaches you face every shift. Let's look closely at anomaly detection. A well-tuned model doesn't just wait around for hard crashes, it flags creeping memory leaks or subtle, unusual spikes in error rates hours before they ever escalate into an actual user-facing outage. Then there's log analysis using natural language processing, or NLP. We've all been there during an outage. You're furiously scrolling through endless terminal windows, running complex manual grep searches, basically just praying you spot the error code. An NLP model replaces that entirely. It can parse millions of raw log lines across dozens of servers and surface the exact root cause in seconds. Finally, predictive maintenance. This allows you to replace a degrading hard drive on a quiet Tuesday afternoon based on learned failure patterns, rather than waiting for it to inevitably fail and trigger a massive RAID rebuild during peak Friday traffic.
Let's quickly walk through the practical life cycle of actually deploying these solutions. First, you define the problem. Are you trying to predict an outage or categorize network traffic? Second, collect and clean the data from your various monitoring tools. This is that messy pre-processing part we just talked about. Third, choose a model. Now, I really want to emphasize this step because people constantly overcomplicate it. They immediately reach for massive, complex, deep learning neural networks. Don't do that. Start simple. A basic decision tree or logistic regression model is highly interpretable, incredibly fast to deploy, and honestly, surprisingly effective for the vast majority of IT issues. Finally, step 4 is to train and evaluate the model, rigorously measuring its accuracy against a withheld set of test data.
Once you actually start building and deploying these models, you're going to need the right tools to manage them. Welcome to the MLOps tooling landscape. MLflow is pretty much the standard for experiment tracking and model registries. If you're heavily into containerization, Kubeflow provides native ML pipelines right inside Kubernetes. And for fully managed end-to-end platforms, you're looking at AWS SageMaker or Azure ML. But you might be wondering, why does MLOps even matter to an IT pro? Well, because models are not set and forget. Just like hardware degrades over time, machine learning models degrade as your infrastructure environment naturally changes. It's a phenomenon known as data drift. MLOps provides the automated CI/CD-like pipelines you need to monitor, retrain, and redeploy models continuously so they actually maintain their accuracy in a living, breathing environment.
Section 6. Your next steps today. Taking action. Look, learning the theory throughout these 9 chapters of the tutorial is fantastic, but getting your hands dirty, that is where true operational understanding is forged. The absolute easiest way to start is right now, inside your existing stack. You don't need to go out and build a custom prediction model from scratch today. Instead, go explore the AI ops and machine learning features that are already running under the hood in the enterprise monitoring tools you use daily. Whether that's Dynatrace, Splunk, Datadog, or whatever else is in your environment. Turn those features on in a staging environment. Observe the outputs, reverse engineer the logic driving them, and more importantly, collaborate. Go talk to the data science teams in your organization. Remind them that you hold the keys to the kingdom. Your operational expertise in infrastructure reliability and incident response, that is the exact real-world context they desperately need to make their theoretical models actually function in a production environment.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought taken directly from the source material. Take a moment and just let this sink in. Every week you wait is a week of compounding advantage someone else is building. The absolute best time to start building your machine learning fluency was yesterday. The second best time is today. So armed with the operational foundation we've built in this chapter, I have a challenge for you. What specific operational anomaly in your infrastructure are you going to try to predict tomorrow? Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you in Chapter 10.